Ayo, what's up guys, welcome to today's video. Today's video is gonna be 6 things that jungle mains might not know about. So if you're playing an AoE champion, basically a champion with AoE abilities, and you're playing with Hunter's Talisman, and you're struggling with being low HP after clear, I'm basically gonna show you a really simple but really broken tip that can give you insane healing. So now we are at 200 HP. So what do you want to do? Okay, we get to 130, I guess. So let's say that you just cleared your entire bot side jungle. You killed your blue, your grump, and your wolves, and you are a bit low HP, and you want to go to your red buff, but you're kind of low on HP. A really simple way to gain HP for free as an AoE ability champion with Hunter's Talisman is basically using all of your AoE abilities on top of the raptor camp. So right now we are at 100, let's do it at 170. So we're going to be at 170 HP. There we go, 170, and then you just use all of your abilities. And there you go. Now we are at 300 and almost 400 HP simply from pressing Q. Basically, why this gives you so much HP is because that every ability, every like attack or ability that you use steals 30 HP over 5 seconds. You basically steal HP, so you want to hit as many of the raptors as possible to gain 30 HP over 5 seconds for each and every one of them. So this way you can gain an insane amount of HP. So you can basically get like 200 HP for free, and now you're like decent HP to kill a red buff pretty much easily. So that's the first tip. The second tip has to do with the jungle item. So let's say that you have all your part jungle items here, and now you just need 250 gold for your jungle item. It's really important that you just farm these 250 gold, because upgrading from these items, so you have the Stalker's Blade, which is mostly just for the Chilling Smite passive and lifesteal against monsters. Then we have 35 AP and 10% cooldown reduction, and then we have 250 mana. So right now we basically only have 35 AP damage, but if we go and spend the 250, we get an additional 45 AP. This is basically the difference. And we gain 50 mana as well. We keep the cooldown reduction, and we get the passive Runic Echoes. And this basically is for every jungle item. It's for Warrior, Cinderhulk, Blood Racer, Runic Echoes, doesn't matter. If you're having part jungle items and you have enough for your full jungle item, it's really important to go ahead or recall instantly, grab it, because you're simply so much stronger. Like, the jungle item is the most gold efficient item in the game, so it's really important that you just recall instantly as soon as you have enough for your jungle item, buy it, and then you're pretty much way stronger. We can quickly compare it. So we want to be looking for 45 AP. 45 AP for 250 gold. So how much would 45 AP normally cost? So Amplifying Tome would cost 435 for 20 AP. So we would need 2 of these and a little bit more. So that would be 100 gold for the 5 AP that we're missing. So 435 plus another 435. That's 870 plus an additional 100. That's 970. That's almost 1,000 gold. Straight only from the AP that you're getting for now. Instead of almost 1,000 gold, 250 gold. On top of that, you also get the Runic Echo proc, and you get an additional 50 mana. So again, as soon as you have enough for your jungle item fully completed, recall instantly and go ahead and grab it. The third tip has to do with early game as well. So basically, red buff is way stronger than blue buff in terms of the buff itself. So for 1v1s, the red buff is simply way stronger. So I'm basically gonna show you guys. So right now we are having 11.9 healing regen simply because of the health pots. But look now we have 13.4. Reason why we have more HP regen is because we just killed the red buff. So what does red buff actually give? So red buff gives the burn that we all know. It gives you the slow, so it actually also slows your target very slowly. And on top of that, it also gives you increased healing regen. So whenever you're looking for a 1v1 either against a laner or a jungler in the early game, it is really important that you have red buff instead of blue buff, or you can have both, but at least make sure that you have red buff and the enemy doesn't, because it actually gives a lot of utility, like both the slow, the attack burn, but also the health regen can basically help you win the 1v1. it can basically mean the difference between you winning the 1v1 or losing the 1v1 in the early game. So basically make sure that if you're going for a fight in the early game, make sure that you have red buff. If you don't have red buff, at least make sure that the enemy doesn't have red buff, so you're at least even. Basically most jungle players don't know about this, especially in lower elos. So yeah, basically make sure that you have the red buff, or at least the enemy doesn't, so that you're at least even, or you have the upper hand with the better buff. So the fourth tip has to do with jungle area. So basically, right now we have 2 mana regen because we're not in the jungle. We're basically in lane. But when you have jungle item and you are entering the jungle area, you basically go from 2 mana regen to 9.5. Basically, you get more mana regen the more you're missing. So let's say you are almost no mana, you get insane mana regen. If you have almost full mana, then you don't really get that much mana regen. But if you're low on mana and you're the jungler, make sure to go into the jungle area so you can get this mana regen. As you can see, it's slowly decaying because we are filling up the mana bar more and more. So if you're low on mana and you're the jungler, go into the jungle area, get some quick mana. Even if you're about to team fight, instead of recalling, let's say you have mana, instead of recalling and you're about to team fight, just quickly stay in the jungle for 10 seconds and you'd have way more mana for the team fight and you're pretty much ready to go. Instead of having to recall, go back to base, get full mana that way, and then go for the fight 30 seconds after. So that's that. The 5th and 6th tip are actually a combination regarding the Rift Herald and tower platings. So let me just quickly kill the Rift Herald here. So first thing first is that Rift Herald gives 100 gold. So if you're the jungler, make sure that you're the one last hitting it, so you get the 100 gold instead of your laner. So there we go, we got the 100 gold. Second thing, once you have the Rift Herald picked up, basically Rift Herald becomes your pet. So what does this mean? This basically means that once you spawn it, like I'll do here, whenever Rift Herald kills anything, so if it kills minions or if it kills platings, I'm basically getting the gold for it, see. I get the 14 gold. Rift Herald is too slow here though. But basically, like whenever it kills anything, you get the gold from it. This only works if you are alive though. So you want to make sure once you spawn Rift Herald that you're staying alive until it gets the platings, because you want to be getting the gold for it. Usually I would not be in range for this, but since it's Rift Herald getting the gold, I also get the gold. So now that we have Rift Herald being that in a sec here, there we go. The last tip is also regarding the Rift Herald and tower plating. So let me quickly just spawn another Rift Herald here. There we go. So basically, when do you want to be using Rift Herald? So you basically want to be using it before the 14-minute mark, once there's still platings alive. But there's one thing that I see a lot of low elo junglers not utilizing, and that's the fact that the less platings are left on the turret, the tankier the turret becomes. So basically, right now the top turret only has 2 platings left. So now this tower has 120 armor and 120 magic resist, so it basically becomes tankier because it's lower on HP. Once a tower with 4 platings instead of 2 platings has only 50 armor and 50 magic resist. So you want to be using the Rift Herald before the 14-minute mark, but you also want to be using it on some of the last plates. So instead of using it on this tower, if it had 4 platings, you would, with your top laner, basically get it to either 3 or 2 platings left, and then you use the Rift Herald, since Rift Herald does 2 damage and will still guarantee you 2 platings, basically 2000 damage, as I think it's 2300 it does total, 2600. So that is basically when you want to be using the Rift Herald. These were the 6 things that I think most jungle players, especially in lower elo, don't utilize. So I basically wanted to showcase them. And here you go. Basically, include these 6 things in your jungle gameplay, and you should be climbing and having an easier time in the jungle. So if you found this video informative, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more videos, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below, or ask me live on stream over at twitch.tv/kami_khazix. And otherwise, I'll just see you guys in my next YouTube video or on my next live stream. So see you guys.